It is time, again, and due to popular demand, for another reading from this wonderful book, A Different Kind of Power by Jacinda Ardern, a memoir. We've covered a lot of it, but I'm going to go to a pivotal point in Jacinda Ardern's political life. We're about 6 weeks out from the election of 2017, and things are not going well to Labor. So they go to a meeting at some pollster's place in Wellington, and Jacinda takes up the story. They were worse than I thought. A 3-point drop in just 1 week. We were polling at 23%, while the National Party were at 42%. We weren't just looking at election defeat. We were looking at annihilation. I wondered if my ankles looked big in the shoes I just added that in. The prospect of losing so many MPs that Labor, with its 100-year history, could eventually cease to be a credible major party. Some would say it already happened. I kept pinning our hopes on the start of the campaign in just a few weeks to give us the platform we needed, and now it was looking even more critical. The car ride back to Parliament was silent. When we arrived, Andrew peeled off towards his office without saying goodbye. I typed out a quick text message to him. Hey, Andrew, do you think my ankles look big in the shoes? No. Regardless of how these polls bounce around, I will always be an optimist for us. Things will get better. No, hang in there, Andrew. No, you're my leader. Just, don't feel so down. When he replied, it was to tell me he wanted to talk. Andrew's office was always very cold, and as I walked in, the chilled air made me shudder. Andrew stood behind his large wooden desk, staring past me, as if lost in thought. I made my way to the couch and sat down, waiting to hear what he needed from me. Andrew came from behind his desk. I'm glad she's just, the whole thing is being painted out here. I tried to sit a little more upright, but the couch sucked me back deep into the cushions. Andrew still hadn't said a word. God, the tension is growing, isn't it? I wondered if my ankles looked fat. I glanced up at the clock. It was almost 2 o'clock. At any moment, the bells would ring to announce that we needed to head to the debating chamber for question time. Andrew cleared his throat. God, the tension's killing me. I think I should stand down, he said, and I think you should take over as leader. I could hear voices in the hallway, the bustle of MPs getting ready to go to the House, doors opening and closing, the whir of a printer. Andrew wants to stand down. He thinks I should take over. I turned his words over in my head, tried to make them make some sense. I wasn't naive. I knew people considered me a potential leader. Just weeks earlier, a magazine had run a cover story with the headline, Jacinda Ardern, Why She Is Our Prime Minister in Waiting. I had even started showing up in the preferred Prime Minister polls, although with a paltry 8%. But I'd also been in politics long enough to know that commentators touted MPs as future leaders all the time. It was one thing to hear people speculate, but this was less than 2 months before an election. The ads had been filmed. The billboards were up. It was too late for all of this. I sat in stunned silence while Andrew explained that perhaps it would be in the best interest of the party. He didn't think he could win. If he were to stay on, he reasoned, we'd lose too many MPs. Even as he spoke, some part of my mind was already racing ahead, weeks into a hypothetical future. I was instead standing in a darkened television studio, knowing that on the other side of the camera were millions of wide-eyed audience members. In that studio, camera faced 2 lecterns. Relaxed and confident was the Prime Minister Bill English, not as affable as John Key had been, but pragmatic and calm, looking every part the leader. Behind the other lectern was me, with my fat ankles. The debate, I thought, the televised debate. I can't do them. I can't do any of it. God, if only she'd stuck with that thought. There we go, I'm just going to leave that as a cliffhanger. But wasn't that just amazing? It's cold in Andrew's office, and he had a very, very difficult to sit in couch. That's the sort of stuff, political insight, that you'd pay $35 for in all good bookshops, wouldn't you? Really? Almost need a cuppa and a lie down after that.